Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys urged to bump up Pro Bowl return star on WR depth chart. The Cowboys enter 2024 with one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, star CeeDee Lamb. They will also have on quality veteran number 2 receiver, Brandon Cooks. But once we get beyond those two, well, the receiver depth chart gets shaky. Michael Gallup was a major disappointment and was cut this offseason. A meeting with free agent Zay Jones did not yield a contract. He signed with the Cardinals. Remaining free agent receivers are all dented cans, like the Saints' Michael Thomas or the Chiefs' Mecole Hardman. Lamb is number 1, and despite his contract stalemate with the team, he is due an extension. He will be back in Dallas next year and will be among the best receivers in the game. Cooks is number 2, but will be 31 and is entering the final year of his contract, and possibly his final year in Dallas. This year's number 3 is up in the air. While there has been speculation that the Cowboys will see if 2022 third-round pick Jalen Tolbert is up to the job, the Cowboys analysis site Inside the Star says another candidate is being overlooked, Cavonte Turpin. Turpin is an excellent kick returner who was signed by the Cowboys after he was the MVP of the USFL in 2022. His average of 29.2 yards per return was the most by any player in 2023, with at least 10 returns. He recorded a 63-yard kick return against the Rams in Week 7 that set up a 2-play touchdown drive from the 13-yard line. Turpin was a Pro Bowl selection as a rookie because of his return prowess. But the Cowboys could call on Turpin as a number 3 option in the receiving game, working out of the slot and using his speed. Turpin runs a 4.3-second 40-yard dash to create mismatches. Analyst Mario Herrera of Inside the Star writes that Turpin's success as a return man has overshadowed the possible impact he could have in the offense. Everyone is excited to see him impact on returns, forgetting he can contribute to the offense. I'm here to tell you he shouldn't be overlooked. Turpin saw an increased role in the offense in 2023 after playing primarily special teams in his rookie season. I believe a more increased role in Mike McCarthy's offense in year 3 shouldn't be ruled out. The opportunity is there, and the Cowboys appeared to trust him more towards the end of the season. Of course, there are problems with having Turpin working consistently out of the slot. For one thing, he is 5'9" and weighs a very slight 153 pounds. While he should be able to find holes in opposing defenses and make teams pay for covering him with a linebacker, it's tough to ask a player his size to go over the middle a whole lot. And the Cowboys did not exactly trust him more as the season progressed. Turpin had 2 targets and 1 catch for 4 years in the Cowboys' final 5 games. He played a total of 32 snaps in those games. Tolbert was well ahead of him on the depth chart throughout the season. But as of now, with the Cowboys having made 0 additions to the receiver room in free agency, and adding only 6th-round pick Ryan Flournoy in the draft, Turpin must be considered an option for the Cowboys' number 3 role. Proposed trade sees Cowboys land $81 million receiver. The Dallas Cowboys would be an ideal landing spot for this veteran receiver. In a trade scenario proposed by Inside the Star's Mario Herrera Jr., the Cowboys would acquire 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Deandre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a 5th-round pick. Herrera argues that although Hopkins is coming off a rebound season, he posted 75 catches for 1,057 yards and 7 touchdowns with lackluster quarterback play. The Titans could look to get younger and stockpile draft capital. Tennessee looks to get younger at the position to grow with second-year QB Will Levis, and a 32-year-old Hopkins could be expendable, writes Herrera Jr. The Titans have just 4 total 2025 draft picks and only 1 in the top 3 rounds. Dallas should offer a 5th-round pick in exchange for Nook. While the Cowboys would certainly welcome the addition of a 3rd established receiver following the release of Michael Gallup Jr. this offseason, Herrera makes sure to stress that the Titans would have to take on some of his 2024 salary due to the Cowboys' recent cap-restrained approach. Execution of this trade would require the Titans to take on some of his 2024 salary, writes Herrera. Stephen Jones will scoff at his current cap hit of $18 million. Hopkins, who previously signed an $81 million contract extension in 2017 with the Houston Texans, is on the verge of entering the final year of a two-year, $26 million deal he signed with the Titans in 2023. The idea of the Cowboys adding a third veteran receiver is a realistic idea. Dallas will likely enter training camp with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks as the top two receivers, with young and unproven receivers such as Jalen Tolbert, Cavonde Turpin, and rookie Ryan Flournoy competing for the slot position. Tolbert has just 29 catches for 268 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 2 seasons of his career, while Turpin has largely served as a return specialist, notching just 13 catches for 136 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns during his career. While the Titans likely won't be contending for a Super Bowl this season with second-year quarterback Will Levis entering training camp as the unquestioned starter, it's hard to envision Tennessee trading his best and most dependable receiving weapon before his first full season as starter. Despite being 32 years of age, Hopkins is still the Titans' go-to receiver, with former first-round pick Treylon Burks proving to be a bust so far in his career after posting just 49 catches for 665 receiving yards and 1 touchdown during the first 2 seasons of his career. In fact, Hopkins garners such a large share of the receptions and targets among the wide receivers that the Titans' second-best receiver was Nick Westbrook-Akine with 28 catches for 370 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. His number of catches and receiving yards ranked 5th among players on the team. The idea of the Cowboys acquiring Hopkins, who previously teased the idea of playing for the Cowboys during the 2023 offseason, is obviously a move Dallas would welcome. However, the idea of the Titans parting ways with Hopkins as their young quarterback, Levis, enters a pivotal year in his development just isn't a very realistic scenario. Especially if the Cowboys are just parting ways with a 5th-round draft pick in exchange for an established star receiver like Hopkins. Veteran may land with NFC contender in shocking trade. Veteran wide receiver Deandre Hopkins may land with NFC contender the Dallas Cowboys in a trade that could happen. According to a proposal, the Cowboys would acquire the veteran wideout from the Titans in exchange for a 5th-round pick. The 5-time Pro Bowler is coming off a rebound year last season after posting 75 catches for 1,057 yards and 7 touchdowns. However, the Titans are getting younger on their roster, so they could continue and stockpile draft capital. It may be time for Tennessee to give second-year quarterback Will Levis some younger options to help develop him for the next decade. The 32-year-old could be expendable, and the Titans only have 4 total 2025 draft picks, so they may be looking to add some capital. However, Hopkins still projects to be a key part of the passing attack for the Titans. If it's not now, it could come later after the team receives a $18.3 million cap hit. Dallas still needs a reliable slot receiver to help Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb's offense. The Cowboys could get more than that as they need more proven receivers on their depth chart. Jalen Tolbert, Cavonde Turpin, and rookie Ryan Flournoy seem to be the wideouts that will compete for the slot position. However, it wouldn't hurt for Dallas to consider a proven veteran to help Lamb and Cooks. Lamb is entering his contract year, so they may need another wideout if he winds up with another team. Hopkins is on the verge of his final season as well, since the Titans haven't made any discussions to extend him. The core wide receiver group doesn't look promising, with just Lamb as the reliable superstar. Hopkins as a veteran coming in would completely make this team Super Bowl worthy. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of DeAndre Hopkins? Leave your opinion in the comments.